Good evening. Welcome to briefing number 59 of the Killing Wall. It's good to see some of you on here. You see, because tonight we're going to be tackling a kill order, a very specific kill order. I've been sitting on this one for a minute. I'm so fucking happy to actually unleash it on you. Because tonight we're going after some righteous fuck, I'm telling you right now. It was mentioned over in Hellfire. I expect some of you to be able to appreciate the beauty of it because it's needed. It's needed. It's kind of really fucking needed. But first and foremost, I want every single one of you to follow my general orders, which are to download Live 365 and listen to it on Hellfire Radio. Help Kinko out and buy one of his t-shirts. Now, here's something else that's pretty damn cool. I actually got a hold of a graphic. Yes, if you follow those instructions there, you can actually see what it is that you're supposed to fucking do. And I want you to listen to us because we're awesome. And I know that we're all awesome. We've got some kick-ass shit that's going to be coming on that pretty damn soon. I'm pretty damn sure and pretty damn excited. You notice how I'm just so damn pretty about everything right now? It's because I'm telling you, it is without a doubt very, very important. And I want you all to follow it. Okay? I'm pretty damn sure that you will not disappoint me with that. Also, there's some pretty cool shit that's going to be coming up in July. I want you guys to check it out. You've got Disturbed, you got Stained, you got Snoop Dogg, you got Korn, you got Limp Bizkit. Okay, we got some kick-ass shit that's going to be coming down the pipeline in early 2021. I want you to check it out. Rockfest. Seriously, check it out. We've even got Queensryche in there. Isn't that kind of awesome? I think that's kind of awesome. But above all else, don't forget to check out hellfireradio.com because we've got some kick-ass shit. You got shows like mine. You've got shows like Justice's, like Tyson's, like Scratch, like Scoops and fucking Mischief, like Diego, like Cruz, like Novella, like the She Headbangs girls, like the Talking Dead. I mean, seriously, folks, you even got Tom on there. You got Moist the Clown on there. You've got Azazel on there. You've got zero reason not to check it out. So share the hell out of this. Share this to your groups. Share this to your timelines. Share this to your friends. And we're going to talk. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about what tonight's kill order is on. And tonight's kill order, folks, it's on this son of a bitch. Some of you may not be able to read that, so I'm going to have to read it for you. Okay? That is a kill order for the Ulrichus Damascus. That's right, we're going after Lars Ulrich tonight, folks. That's good to know your target. Sit this way, you understand. He has a kill order issued on him for some damn good reasons. But first, let's see who the hell is reporting in. We've got Sodden Page, we've got Beth, we got Curai, we got Gabby. Damn fucking right. And happy birthday to you, Gabby. That's a shout out directly from the rank commander. We've got Tyler in here. We've got Michael in here. We've got my Kiwi sergeant in here. Oh my, you see, I'm loving and feeling so much of the love. I'm digging it, okay. Oh, we got Lieutenant Diego in the fucking house. You see, needless to say, we've got some kick-ass shit. And I've got some kick-ass troops and I got kick-ass staff. That's what I'm fucking talking about, okay? So let's talk about tonight's target. We're talking about Lars fucking Ulrich, okay? He is subject to a kill order for the murder of Napster. That's right. It seems to be an old one. Some of you might be a little too young to remember Napster. Well, allow me to refresh your memory. Napster was the first peer-to-peer music sharing site and software out there. It allowed us to be able to maximize and optimize our ability to be able to listen to independent artists as well as commercial artists. This used to be a thing back during the 80s and 90s, believe it or not. Those of us that remember what cassette tapes were for, we'd wait until a song came on the radio and we'd hit record. And we'd record our favorite fucking tracks onto a cassette and be able to listen to it. That's what the term mixtape came from, folks. It was an era, and we were untouched. And then CDs came out, and the music industry said, there's no fucking way that people will abuse CDs. It's a new way for us to be able to keep our shit and not get freaking busted for it. Well, guess what, assholes? We found ways. And then the music industry got pissed. That's right. The music industry got pissed. Kazaa was the biggest virus sharing site. And you want to know what? Here's the thing, Michael, and I'll be honest with you, all right? Napster had its downside, and its biggest downside is that it lacked a lot of common sense in its users. It really did. Ted Azazel, glad to see you reporting in. Here's where Napster got fucked up, okay? Its users in particular. It doesn't take a genius to realize that a 3.5-minute song is not going to take up that much freaking file space. It's not going to have that large of a file size. Okay? It's not. Maybe 100 megs at most. 100, maybe 150 megs. Okay? If you're downloading a 300 meg freaking file, you're downloading a hell of a lot more than just music. You have to use your brain. I'm glad that you want to be schooled, Michael. You see, virus sharing back in the day relied on people not recognizing what file sizes were, what file extensions were. You know what? Those of us coming up during that time, we learned what an executable was. We learned what .dat files were. We learned what libraries were. And I don't mean the great big houses that have books in them. I'm talking about libraries that your registry and your computer actually uses in order to be able to run particular types of scripts. We learned what that shit was specifically because we didn't want to download something that we didn't like or didn't want on our machines. You adapt your knowledge to the usage. And when you got morons that just see something like stupid on the freaking thing, like, oh, I could download that for free. I so want that. I so want that. I so want that. And they don't do the fucking research and they don't apply their knowledge. Guess what the fuck happens? Now you got a gigantic paperweight sitting on your desk because you were a fucking idiot. And you want to know what? We still got people doing the same fucking thing. You put on something that's super fucking popular, like, oh, I don't know, freaking Belle Delphine sex tape. You throw that on there, guess what? Boom! About 50 million people are going to fucking download it and not realize they downloaded the latest fucking Trojan. That's what fucking happens. That's what happens. And it's still going on. But I'll be going after those soon enough. Believe me, there's a kill order sitting on there for computer viruses. I guarantee you. And computer idiots. It's there. I promise you. So, back to LARS and Napster. You see, let's start at the beginning. December 26, 1963. A scourge was put on this earth by the name of LARS. And then in the 80s, in the early 80s, LARS came out of nowhere in 81, as a matter of fact. And he joined Metallica. And they came out with some kick-ass tracks. And there's a reason why I'm so fucking animalistic about this shit. Okay? You know why I'm animalistic about this shit? I have a passion for music. I really do. The art of it. Not necessarily a particular person's portrayal of art, but the art of it. To be able to create such a sonorous cacophony that would allow pleasing aesthetics to send us above and beyond all of our problems and create an escapism that cannot be touched. I have an appreciation for that. Where I have a problem with is when those that are capable of doing that and know that they do, and then they abuse it, that's when I got an issue. I liked the art that LARS did, but I hate the artist. And that artist is who this is after. LARS is the reason why independent artists have to struggle to get their music out now. Because tape traders were the original advertising back in the day. I can name 8 drummers off the top of my fucking head that kicked ass and influenced the music industry and added to it. And I hate to say it, Lars was one of them. Okay. But he completely and totally negated his gift by doing what he did. You want to know what would be a suitable punishment? Do you guys really want to know what would be a suitable punishment on a kill order on Lars? Here's what you do. What you do is you put him to sit with the skin of a snare up against his freaking head, and then have Buddy Rich do snare drills on his head against the snare. Have Buddy Rich go nuts. That's how you fucking punish somebody like Lars for what he did. On March 13th, I believe. I think it was March 13th. Yeah. March 13th of 2000. He filed the lawsuit against Napster and spearheaded and became the fucking figurehead of Napster's demise. He led the fucking pitchfork mob. For that, his willingness to do so earned him the kill order. You see, when you ruin something that good, you draw the ire. Napster was the way that independent artists were able to get their word out there. Napster was how people recognized music. And guess what? You could still get your fucking music from live performances. You could get your money that way. Ticket sales alone. Merch sales alone. Live performances. Okay? Appearances. There were about 1 billion fucking streams of income. There was zero reason to come after Napster. I'm sorry you can't buy your third island. I know I'm fucking citing South Park when I say this shit. Yeah, you can't have a gold-plated Shark Tank bar in your freaking Olympic-sized swimming pool in your backyard now because people are fucking sharing your music for free. He ruined it. For that, he deserves to die. Now, perhaps, I don't know if we should continue to talk about the assailant, or we should share in memoriam for Napster, for all the good that it did, and all the wonderful things that it shared for us. If you want to talk about what a kick-ass drum line would be, okay, because it can give you a great dream team lineup of a freaking drum battle. Not a drum battle, a collaborative. I would love to see. And some of you might agree with me, and some of you might not. Okay, you put Cliff Burton along with Jordy Jordanson and Tommy Lee and Dave Grohl and Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa and even Lars. All of them unleashing shit and playing the drums of war. All of them. And tell me how awesome that would be. And at the head of the fucking pack, do you want to know who it would be? Phil Collins. Alongside Peter Criss. Then you can talk to me. You see, I could see some of you agree with me. The lineup I just mentioned would be epic. Can you imagine that? And it is about showmanship as well as skill. I think I lost some of these here. I've only got 6 left. Don't forget to share this out. But Lars needs to go. Lars needs to go. Vinnie Paul would be. Vinnie. You see, my issue. Why the fuck is his band fucking. Why am I blanking on the name of his band? Somebody help me here. Vinnie Paul. It's been that kind of a day. I apologize, guys. It's like Vinnie Paul. Why am I? Please don't kill me for this. Thank you. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't remember Pantera. I don't know why I couldn't remember Pantera to save my life. It was like it was killing me there. It was like, you know, unfortunately, every single time I see Pantera, I think of Dimebag Darrell. You know, no, I want to see Jordy versus Buddy Rich. I want to see that. I want to see that. That I'd pay to see. I'd pay to see that. There's one other drummer. I want to say Rick Allen. John Bonham, yeah, maybe. No, I want Rick Allen. Rick Allen would be a good freaking showdown. Rick Allen and Dave Grohl. I think that would be a freaking match. Okay. He's the only one-armed drummer, isn't he, Curie? You see, Adler kicks. Yeah. I liked Phil when he was at the top of his game. Phil played drums until he couldn't play anymore. How many drummers can say that? He played until his body said that he couldn't play anymore. And still managed to do something kick-ass with it. Because, you see, I got a lot of respect for Phil Collins. As fucked as it sounds, because it doesn't sound anywhere near metal at all, but if you think about it, when it comes to rock, okay? He legit took the Concorde from one country to the other. He actually flew across the Pacific to play in 2 different concerts for the same event. How many people could say that they know a drummer that could pull that off and was willing to? And he did it for the art. That's the beauty of it. That's something that Lars would never understand. He did it for the art. Can't argue that. When you have someone with such a skill, you don't penalize people that seek to have it or to enjoy it. Damn right. See, James. See, I don't know which one here to like highlight. I definitely got that, and then you got this. Hands down, no question. This is why I would love to see Disturbed and Genesis collab for a new version of Land of Confusion. That would be beyond the epic. That would be beyond the epic. You take a look at the two drummers or the two bands themselves. I mean, you can't fight. You can't fight it. Drummers ultimately, in many ways, are just as important as any other member of a band. Who was? I can't believe I'm asking this because now I'm blanking on the name. Drummer for AC/DC. Why am I blanking? I don't know, James, because you want to know what? I know I keep on mentioning him, but Buddy Rich was a non-metal drummer, but he had a metal drummer style. Watch the drum battle between him and Animal. Thank you, Phil Rudd. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I was blanking on that. You take somebody like Phil Rudd, put him up with John Bonham. That's it. Drummers are the fucking if they legitimately, okay? I'm gonna cut loose early here for a second, okay? Drummers, without a doubt, are like the musical form of Mortal Kombat, where you can put them up against one another and you can still have fun. Because we all have our favorites, and we all have those that have in many ways influenced us and given us such strong a fucking emotion like you wouldn't believe. And they all have skills to build in with itself. How you doing, Sergeant Tristan? And I'll give you a good example here, okay? You used Phil Collins, okay? In the Air Tonight. That drum solo, right when the music really starts to kick in, it's like a drop of the bass, okay? When he's hitting the toms. You can't deny it hits. Okay? You take a look at Iron Maiden. Am I thinking Iron Maiden? Megadeth's drummer. A drummer from Megadeth. And Iron Maiden, okay? The drums on Peace sells it, okay? Yes. Okay, and you know what? Lars soiled that. He soiled it. Chris Adler, yes. Lars soiled it. Lars made us take a look at drummers and ask ourselves whether or not they were for the art. They made us question. And a lot of drummers realize that they're a powerful force for any band. But then they have secondary skill sets too. Take a look at Grawl. Vocals. Okay? And songwriting ability. Jordy. Songwriting ability. Okay? Phil. Songwriting ability. And you want to know what makes it? You want to? Here's what's fucked up, Kirai, about that. Okay, here's what's fucked up about that. I'm going to highlight your comment here real quick. Okay, there's a good reason why this was fucked up. Okay, what's fucked up is that we understood. It was a dick move, but we couldn't argue it. You ever get hit with something where you're like, oh, that's fucked up. But you're like, I get it, but that's fucked up. Like, how you can't argue the point, but at the same time, you're like, that did you have to? Like, there are some good things that are happening. Did you really have to fucking ruin it? Portnoy's okay, and I get why he did it. I get why he did it. Did he have to? No. And fucked it up. Because what he did influenced the entire music industry from this point onward. The RIAA took no notice of shit. He just hammered it in. And destroyed it. For those of us that had an appreciation for the art and the skill, because it takes skill. Not other instruments definitely take skill. I mean, freaking think Jin Lim. What's his name? The guitarist from freaking Dragon Force, for God's sakes. Yeah, but and freaking Yngwie Malmsteen. Okay, but then again, you've also got the ability to use your entire fucking body, and that's ultimately what fucked Phil Collins up. His back is fucked. He can't play drums no more. He's fucked. Yeah, but Dee Snider shut them up, Kirai. Here, this is something I'm going to highlight that too. You're on point tonight with the fucking history. For those of you that don't know, that was a group that was led by Tipper Gore, I believe. When because of that, now parental advisories had to get thrown on the fucking music. And freaking Dee Snider had to sit in court and explain to people that metal does not have hidden messages. And it was insane. And there was something I found out, and you guys are going to like this. Okay, maybe sarcastically. Sean Fanning and Lars Ulrich are now best buddies. The guy that formed Napster and created it and got taken down by him, he's now friends with him. You see, I will never, ever, 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 ever understand where that shit came in. And you know what? I could tell you where that came from, Kirai. I could tell you where it came from. Parents don't want to blame themselves. They don't. They want to blame something for their kids acting up, for their kids rebelling, for their kids gaining independent ideas, for their kids not basically being a carbon copy of them. That's what it is. They want to indicate that there's a source. And if they eliminate the source, then suddenly the kids will no longer be rebellious and will be carbon copies of them. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay? Back in the day, reading fucking books other than the Bible were seen as what caused an issue. Okay? Then it was listening to jazz, freeform music. Then it was reading comic books. Right? Then it was TV. Then it was rock and roll, Elvis. Then was the concept of counterculture. And they kept their freaking finger on the pointed at the music. They did. They did. And that was the case for decades. All the way up until the 80s. The late 80s. When video games became the target. Horror movies. Sci-fi. Basically anything that they could point the finger at except themselves. That was always the fucking case. And for a while, music was off the fucking hook. Lars put them right back on the fucking chopping block. The one thing you never want to do when you're great at doing something and the artistry is grand is draw attention to yourself from the wrong fucking eyes and the wrong fucking ears. That's exactly what Lars did. He put music at risk. Is it better now? A little bit than how it was back then. You know, for a while, it was a bit of a scare. Is it better? A little bit. Not much. We've had to recover. But I'll tell you, it's insane. You know, they make their money through merchandise and live performances. You know, there's other revenue streams. Speaking of revenue streams, by the way, I have my merch. And you know what? I highly recommend you check it out. It helps the show. Helps me. Please, God, help me. I mean, shit, I need to buy a new razor. You see, goth and metal culture in the 90s, Tyler, were what parents blame shit on. They tried to blame it on Jackass. Although to be... Oh, man. You want to know what, though? Jackass was Darwinism at its finest. It was Darwinism at its finest. If you were dumb enough to do half the shit that they were doing on that show and you got hurt, you deserved to get hurt. You remember that mentality back in the day? You do something stupid and you get hurt, you asked for it. You couldn't point the finger at anybody else. See, parents grew up and they realized they could they tried to skirt responsibility. Careful, Kurai, you'll attract the hipster crowd. And yeah, that's just it. People that took a look at the shit that was happening on Jackass, if they got hurt, they asked for it. That's Darwinism. Let them. I mean, I hate fucking saying it. Like, I can't believe I'm fucking quoting this. Dennis Leary was basically commenting on the whole 80s trial where music was on trial and whatnot. He said, let me get this straight. People are listening to Judas Priest, hearing lyrics and then blowing their heads off. So let me get this straight: two less gas station attendants in the world. What's the problem? That was his mentality. Thing is that people are going to do what people want to do, and if they can do it, they're going to do it. You know, there is no concept of forethought really anymore. And ultimately, a lot of the people that lived through the times when shit was bad, yeah, they look back on it and they're like, what the fuck were we thinking? But you know what? How many of us know the name Johnny Knoxville, Steve O, Bam Margera? We know the names. And we don't know the names because they were skateboarders. We don't know the names because they're actors. We don't remember them from freaking drug advocacy ads. You know, I mean, we're not going to remember who Lars Ulrich was, at least in my generation, other than the fuckhead that took down Napster. Not anymore. He ruined it. Metallica took a massive hit because of that. And I'll give his bandmates credit. They stood by him. They stood by him. But at the same time, it kind of revealed motivation behind things and was the first example of where I can legitimately say, love the art, not the artist. I'll always say that. Love the art, love the work, don't love the artist. And that's as solid a point as I can go with that. Hey, Beth, I heard you were going to buy merch. Or am I misremembering? It's that time of night. There we go. You see, there are a lot of us in here that were around during that time that were fans of the old Jackass back when it was on. Not you, Beth. I meant Gabby. I'm sorry, Beth. Forgive me. Although it'd be pretty kick-ass if you bought merch too, Beth. I mean, back in the day, and it's funny. Oh, rock on, Gabby. Well, there's the link down below. You get paid tomorrow. Get yourself a kick-ass T-shirt or a pullover hoodie. Get both. I recommend. You did. Let me check. That'd be kind of cool. You should send pics because that'd be kind of cool. Let's see if the order went through and all that shit got squared away. Because I'd love, I love sending people like updates on their stuff. Hmm. When did you buy the mug? I'm curious because it's not showing up in my store as a sale yet. And I still have the Jackass movies, and every once in a while, when I want to chuckle, I'll throw them on because I'm amazed at all the shit that they went through. Unfortunately, when YouTube really started to take off, Jackass kind of lost its flavor because you could still see people doing really stupid fucking shit. Just tune into a YouTube channel. Oh, anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or merch orders? Because tonight's the night before the big console release. Actually, right now the console got released about an hour ago. I think the new Xbox and new PlayStation just got released today. I know there are a lot of people rushing. I'm not gonna. I'm waiting until next year before I pick up any next gen consoles. Mostly because you know what? Oh, you ordered it November 6th. Hmm. Hmm. That's my favorite sound to make. I make that sound like I'm a villager from uh from Minecraft. I go, hmm. I'm checking because I want to make sure that you got your stuff. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, that's why. Might not be logged in. Oh yeah, it tracked on the 9th. It just hit today. That's what it is. Go figure. I apologize for the confusion there, Gabby. But I like knowing that you folks are seriously doing. Um, I want to get into an argument as to which is better, Xbox or PlayStation, but so far Xbox it's got the fucking it's got a leg up tech wise. It doesn't have a leg up content wise. James, though, here's the thing. You could always attach an external hard drive via one of the USB ports. That's what I did for mine. I got a 4 terabyte hooked to my Xbox One. Not proprietary, just a regular external. That's all. You just gotta format it so that it counts as external storage. Xena was an old school freaking series. I like that one, Gabby. Anybody else got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints? merch sales, merch. Hmm? And then you could send me pics of you either wearing my merch or showing off my merch. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is that if you buy a freaking like a rinky freaking, I want to say you could buy like a 1 or 2 terabyte for like $50. You know, the cost that you would pay for a fucking game. And now you could store a shit ton more. So, you know, you can't really cite the storage. I mean, the native storage, yeah, it's small. But to be honest with you, if you use the native storage just for the OS, you're good. You know, you have the game set up on a standard external hard drive, and that's it. You're good to go. You know, I'm not one of those fucking snobs that's like, my game has to load at exactly 4 or 800K resolution, and at the same time, it has to, it has to load like a second. And I'm counting the freaking teraflops that it has, and it better have specific types of ray tracing with this particular thing. And it's not giving me what I want. It's a total trash system just because of one small thing. See, there's tech snobs, and then there's people that just are like, okay, it's a kick-ass fucking console. You know? Love your machine for what it is. I'm holding on to my Xbox One, and I'm not going to be getting rid of it anytime soon. And as far as like content is concerned, everything that I can play on my Xbox One and my Xbox 360 and an X Crate, I can play on the new Xbox One X or the new Xbox that's coming out. I keep on forgetting its name. I'm just going to call it the refrigerator because that's what it looks like. It looks like a small refrigerator, but it kicks ass. Just gotta wait, and I'm patient because I'm thinking if I'm gonna buy it, I might buy it next summer. You know, till then, I've got plenty of kick-ass shit I can play on my PC, and what I've got on my Xbox One is fine for now. You know, I freaking pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077, and yeah, the delay pissed me off, but I get it. Believe me, I get it. I understand. You know, and it has full backwards compatibility. That's what I like about the new Xbox. It's full 100% backwards compatibility. They have all the backwards compatibility of the Xbox One. And that one already you could play about good 90% of the 360 titles as well as the X Scrapes titles. Not to mention the fact you can still get Game Pass, which kicks ass. You know, you can't hate that. You can't. It's basically just an upgraded system. But it still kicks ass. I dare you to argue that. You can't argue that. Sony, unfortunately, yeah, they pushed with a whole. Yeah, we've got Miles Morales, and there's one other game that nobody's ever heard of. Buy our shit. And the damn thing's huge. No, give me something small, form factor, and it goes with everything else in my fucking entertainment center. Curai, I called that thing the fucking X crate because it looked like a fucking crate that you'd store freaking grenades in. You used to call it the bread box or the X crate. Well, if nobody's else has got any other questions or whatever, I'm going to end tonight's broadcast. And thank you all for coming in. I'm going to have a kill order finalized tomorrow morning. I'm going to be posting it to Hellfire Radio. So seriously, check out the Facebook Live for Hellfire Radio. Find out what tomorrow's briefing will be on. I expect to see all of you there with bells on. And get your asses in gear. All right? Y'all have a kick-ass evening. Thank you again for reporting in. And as has been said before, it will be said again. You are all kick ass, stay locked and loaded. You're hereby dis fucking